give me 48. We give you three verses. 2 in the old, 1 in the new.
You want 68? Did you ever get 1 and 1?
I want 48 first. Okay. No, because I told her 3.
She skipped over that one.
The book of Deuteronomy.
Since you brought it up, I want to hear it.
Well, start with
she want to hear it.
Because they're going to tell
Since
you.
you brought it up, I mean,
tell you
1 and 1. All right.
1 and 1.
Let's see what it
Deuteronomy 1
says.
and 1.
both of y'all there.
Oh, no, go ahead.
All right. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
These be the words which Moses
spake. Go ahead.
spake unto all Israel.
To who?
All Israel.
All Israel. This is who he's talking to.
Yeah.
Children of Israel.
Throughout the Bible, children of Israel. Now 48. So he told them, if you keep God's commandments, God gonna set you on high over all the other nations. If you don't, He's gonna bring you down to the bottom.
We might as well read that too.
read that.
Yeah, we might as well read it too. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
His commandments, the same commandments they tell us not to keep.
All his
Right.
commandments. Why are you
Which I
not doing
command thee
Right.
this day,
Go ahead.
that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So we'll be the ruling class.
Right.
And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee.
Now 15. So if we keep them, we're gonna be set up high. Right?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken diligently, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Curses.
That'll come upon thee.
And overtake thee.
If you don't
Okay.
listen.
If you don't follow the commandments.
Right. What? Are we an oppressed people? Are we oppressed?
Now,
You know what oppression is?
I'm asking you, what is right?
Yeah, oppression is when somebody, another nation of people is telling you what to do and they got their foot on your
Okay,
neck.
well, I got a foot on my neck. I'm ready to get it off.
Right.
Yes, we are. Everybody got a foot on their neck.
29, quick. Make it quick. Verse 29.
the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness.
Meaning you're not going to be able to find your way no matter what you do. Go ahead.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt not be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. And no man
So
shall
you
save
have
thee.
no foot on your neck no more.
No, meaning you're going to have a foot on your neck and nobody going to save you out of it because you're not keeping the commandments. The Lord is causing the people to do that for our punishment. Verse 48. Now, we're going to hit the next 2 verses is strictly about history. And when you hear it, I want you to respond.
Okay.
Go ahead, verse 48.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Who do we have to serve when we came over? Who do we serve until this day? What it called? Read that again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies,
The white man, the enemy.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
which the Lord shall send against thee,
He sent them against us for our disobedience. Go ahead.
in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
So when you need food, when you need clothing, when you need water, when you need to be born, when you need to be buried, you gotta go to Him. Take control of everything.
I got one thing to say, Jay. I want to say one thing. So was Moses talking to African Americans when he was saying that? Or who was he talking to?
Who is he talking to?
The children of Israel.
There we go.
Now your mom.
Now watch this. Last part of the verse.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Did they put yokes of iron upon our neck?
Yup.
They put us in chains, right?
Hung us.
Yes.
Hung us and shackled us.
And how did they bring us over here?
What form of transportation were you in?
Yep.
Verse 68.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Meaning captivity again. Because the Israelites in Egypt were slaves.
I got that too.
With ships.
No good. Go ahead.
By the way-
Read that again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With ships. Go ahead.
by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there
Then
ye shall
when you
be,
get there, when you get to your destination, because they didn't just bring us here, they took us all over the whole world.
and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
You shall be sold unto your enemies. Yes.
For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
That's why Christ is. So who did that happen
What
to?
did that happen to? So what's your nationality?
Did it happen to your
Slavery on
forefathers?
ships.
You know what happened to your forefathers and your foremothers?
Yeah. You said
Right.
Moses.
So Moses is speaking to the Israelites, right?
Yes.
So
So I'm
what's your
Israelite.
Ah,
Okay.
that's your true
nationality.
nationality.
According to God,
Right.
not according to no man, because they keep switching it up. They call you color, they call this color, Negro.
You there?
Yep.
So look, the Bible does not call them white. It calls them red. They're not white, they're actually red.
And we call them redneck.
I know that.
We call them
Yeah, so they're red, right? Yeah. Read that, 6 and 4.
The book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red,
Them.
and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
done. I'm going home with that one. Finish the description. I'm going with
Go ahead.
it. Oh my goodness.
And that they should kill one another.
Don't they do that? Did they fight wars? Don't they fight world wars? Go
They
ahead.
killing one another.
Yep, go
And there
ahead.
was given unto him a great sword.
A great sword. It's talking about nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Was that it?
Yeah, that was it.
That was it.
So keep going real quick.
The book of Revelations, chapter 13,
They are
and
the
verse 5.
Antichrist. And that image, we're gonna read about it.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God.
So they speak against God. When they tell you you don't have to keep the commandments, they're speaking against God. Great things against God. Go ahead.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle,
His house, meaning his people. It's gonna say it twice. Go ahead.
and them that dwell in heaven.
Talking about us, God's people. They're blaspheming against us. They're saying that they're the people, they're the Jews. They're saying that they're the Christians that follow Christ. When it's actually us. The whole book is about us, how we got to get back. We got to get right with God by repenting and keeping the commandments through Christ. Christ came for us, nobody else. Go ahead.
Verse 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
They made war with us. So during the Renaissance era, when they started making this, that's when they started putting us in captivity in the 1400s. Don't believe that 1600 crap. The 1400s. They ran us because we was in Europe during the Dark Ages. They overcame us.
Right?
Yeah, that's them overcoming us.
And to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
See, you got that power from Satan, and they start taking over the earth. Go ahead.
And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names were not written in the book of life.
So you got, look at Herschel Walker. What's that dude that Senator Ben something? And the other dude up there crying, talking about this little Jewish girl. The hell with them people? What about us? He crying over other people. We need to be saved. We need to be saved. We in the midst of a wicked people being ruled by our enemies. The Bible calls them our enemies. Go ahead.
In the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world.
Anybody ever do Deuteronomy 28?
No, we ain't gonna.
Go ahead. You can see we the people just by listening to this.
If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Right. If you have a spiritual ear here, go ahead.
He that leadeth into captivity
Did they lead us into slavery? Go ahead.
shall go into captivity.
So
They're gonna go into
Yes,
Slave,
they're gonna
basically.
go. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He that killeth with the sword
Did they
must
kill
be
us with
He had the
sword?
sword, and yes.
must be killed with the sword.
Must be killed with the sword. Go ahead.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
We are the saints. We gotta be patient and have faith that Christ is gonna come back and deliver us out of captivity. Go ahead.
Verse 11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth,
Talking about him again.
and he had 2 horns, like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him.
United States got 2 horns. It's going into something different. You got 2 factions. You have the Democrats and the Republicans. Go ahead.
And causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose
So that first beast was Rome. So everything that they did back then in Rome, they doing today.
Today, because they're following.
The very same things that they did. Give me First Maccabees 8.
even their buildings,
Yup.
their stats, all
Yup.
that.
Yeah, I know.
Their laws.
Yep. They putting the woman on
It's
the
just
pedestal.
all of this coming right back around.
Yes. So you have, you know where the term lesbian comes from? So all that gay
The
stuff,
short version.
the gay stuff started in Greece and then went to Rome. They're the same people. Anyway, there was a woman named Sappho's, and she was like the pioneer of lesbianism. She wrote all of these poems to women, like 10,000 poems to women over her lifetime. And guess where they were from? The island of Lesbos.
Wow.
That's where the term
Wow. Out of all things.
So all of this stuff we teach, we got classes on it on our YouTube and Facebook channel. Go ahead. Oh no, give me First Maccabees 3. I mean not 3 and 48. First Maccabees 8 and I think 16 or something like that. Him by the Father. Satan is the tempter.
Right.
That's his job. He's not fighting against God.
Not at all.
God is telling him what to do. It's his job to tempt our people. Go ahead.
And to whomsoever I'll give thee.
So to whosoever he will, he gives that power. So how is it that they have that power? Because they serve him. They serve Satan. Back to where you will. Start that verse from the top.
The book of Revelations, chapter 13, and verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as a mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority.
Great authority. Don't they rule over the whole earth? They tell everybody what to do?
Everything. All the way up to the white. Yep.
Verse 3. And I saw one of his heads, as it were wounded to death.
That's talking about ancient Rome. So in 193 AD, the white man was ruling in Rome. They were conquered by black people in 193. They whitewashed all the images so that you don't realize it. They portray like they've been running it the whole time. No. That's why you have what's called the Renaissance.
Yep.
Right, the Renaissance. Yeah, the Renaissance is when they came back in power. That's when they gave you these images. Leonardo da Vinci, he painted white Jesus.
Okay.
That's when they came back in power. Yes, go ahead.
And his deadly wound was healed.
That's talking about the Renaissance, when they started coming back in power.
And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast.
So how are they worshiping the dragon? Are they going saying, Satan, we worshiping you? No.
No.
They doing it with Christianity.
Yep.
Yeah, because Christianity is 100% against God. God said, I'm going to give you all these commandments, Israel, and you have to keep them. The white man says, no, you don't have to keep God's commandments. That's what they tell you in church. They tell you that the law is done away
But they
with.
don't. But the thing is, they tell you that, but they don't like hold to it. Like it's like they don't do it themselves, but they tell you to do it.
But they're not. But what they so they'll say something like the
And
Ten
then they're like,
Commandments.
then it's like, they don't follow it.
Right? They
That's what I'm
actually
saying.
they
They're
teach
teaching
against
it.
it.
Yeah, they're teaching
They're
it.
teaching against it. They're saying you don't have to keep God's commandments.
Like one
That
of
doesn't sound right.
like one of them is what day is the Sabbath day?
You know the Sabbath
I
day?
do not.
All right, so there's one special day that you have to give to the Lord and honor that day.
Yeah,
He allows you to work 6 days a week, but it's that one day that even God took off.
Sunday.
See, you think it's Sunday.
But that's
the
what
world.
everybody
That's what the
wants you
world
to think.
taught you.
Sunday.
That would
Sunday
be
is
Where's
their
your phone?
Sabbath
rest
day.
day.
Where's
right?
the phone?
My phone's in the car. Wow, what's up? Fine.
Saturday is the seventh day.
Sunday.
Today is the seventh.
The first day of the week.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oh, Sunday is the first day of the week.
But you remember he said rest on the seventh day, right?
Yeah.
They have you worship. They have you worshiping the sun.
The sun god. Sunday.
Wow. Ain't that something? You would have never known.
So that was done. That was done in the year 363, I think. There was. It's called Canon number 29.
Yeah.
The Edict of Thessalonica is what it's called. So like you have to research the history. Like the pastors, they know this stuff. What they're teaching, what they've been told to teach. They're keeping us in darkness. We're in outer darkness.
Literally, like.
And they have everything to gain from it.
And they're gaining.
Go ahead.
And they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?
Who is able to make war with the white man? Who can make war with the white man? You got nukes.
Yeah, they kill
You
everybody.
got yes.
He gets upset, he alright, blow him up. This the simple.
People
That
don't.
they look at it like it's simple, but it's not that simple. Like, cause they bombing now.
They're
over-
always bombing
It's
people.
always war.
Yeah,
It's
that's
such a
them.
war.
That's their gift.
That's them.
The gift the Lord gave.
They're giving. Give me Revelation 6 and 4. A lot of these prophecies is talking about them. But it's written so that we can understand it and nobody else can. It's talking about them though. Everything is pointing at them. All their characteristics, it's written in there. I mean, we can show you like everything about them in here. You can't deny it.
A few scriptures you done read me already, like they told me a lot of truth.
Right.
And a lot that I didn't know actually.
The book of St. Matthew.
Did Christ come for everybody? Like they tell you in church?
Did Christ come for everybody?
Christ died for everybody. Matthew 15:24. Christ's own words right here.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 24.
Read.
But he answered and said, I am not sent, but into the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So who did he come for?
That's
I'm
red letter.
sent into the house.
That's red letter.
Us.
Yes.
Us.
We
The
the-
children of Israel.
Read what
That's
did he
red
say?
letter too. That's red letter.
And we're the lost.
Yes.
We the people who think we African American.
That's what he got it.
That's what you like. You the lost one.
Let me go.
Last one. Luke 21:24. Christ's words again.
The book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
So in 70 AD, the Romans destroyed Jerusalem, killed over 1 million of us, and sent another 900,000 into slavery back then in 70 AD. Go ahead.
And shall be led away captive in all nations.
In all nations. You can find us in all
Everywhere.
nations. Yes. That's our punishment. Scattered throughout the earth.
But they told us everywhere.
That's why at the end of the gospel, Christ said, go into all nations and make disciples. Because we in all nations. It's only for us.
All praises.
Right. Now you got our information.
I do.
Follow us
I ain't
and
even look at it.
learn.
I was too busy listening.
All praise. Follow us and
Yes.
learn, sister.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need this too. That's what I give away. Got 2 kids. They both gone.
Yes, they need to learn.
They
Yes.
definitely are. Thank you guys so much for the
You're welcome.
enlightenment.
You're welcome.
You too.
He said two.